Okay, for my lunch today, I'm going to make a variation on something that my friend Babatunde made out in Nigeria, which is a Nigerian fish salad. It's really unusual because it's not cooked. Most food in Nigeria is cooked. This is actually going to be a salad of raw vegetables and smoked fish, and it's called Imoyo. So our ingredients today are really simple, and they're classic Nigerian flavours. It's going to be chilies, tomato, onion, locust beans and smoked fish. Now, I couldn't get exactly the right ingredients. I couldn't get Scotch bonnets for some reason. They're just not available near me at the moment. So I've got two different sorts of red chilies. I've just got standard red chilies here, and I've got some bird-eye chilies, which are quite hot. These are about the same as Scotch bonnets. In case you're wondering why these are already chopped up, there's another video coming soon where I'm going to test that common wisdom about whether the seeds or the pith or the flesh is the hottest part of the chili. I've already done that, and actually the results might surprise you, but that video is probably coming next week. So anyway, yes, this is going to be a fish salad. It's normally served in Nigeria with one of the starchy things they have there, so maybe gari or fufu or eko. Eko is like cornmeal porridge that's fermented and then it's steamed in a leaf. So anyway, if you want to see Babatunde's original version of this, then follow this link in this card, or there'll be a link in the video description if you're not on a card-enabled platform. But I'm going to make something slightly different today. I'm going to take this recipe and with great respect and care, just give it a little twist to bring it into a different context, which is closer to home for me. I was very pleased to be able to get this ingredient, which is iru, and it's fermented locust beans. And it's a significant flavour component in a lot of Nigerian dishes. And up until now, I've just been guessing at what this might smell and taste like. But now I got the authentic thing. I managed to find it online. It was sent to me frozen in a little freezer pack, and I've just thawed out enough for today's use here. And let me tell you about this ingredient. So the smell is quite actually surprising. It smells like blue cheese. Specifically, this blue cheese, Stilton. It actually smells almost identical to Stilton, which really surprised me and is kind of exciting. And it tastes, let's just taste one, because we're going to eat this all raw today anyway, so this doesn't have to be cooked. Let's just taste one. It tastes like it tastes like if you took a little piece of Stilton and dipped it in soy sauce. So what's not to like about that? It's kind of salty, umami, savoury, funky flavour. I like the sound of that. Anyway, enough waffle, let's get chopping. So really, there's not much complexity to this. We've actually just got to chop these chilies up. I'm just going to chop them into small pieces with the seeds and the pith. And little spoiler for the video that's upcoming on chili seeds and whether they're hot, because no doubt when I say about removing seeds, somebody will even comment on this video and say it's not the seeds that are hot. Well, you're wrong about that. I've just taste tested them and the seeds are hot. Anyway, so we've got a bit of the bird chili, which is the really hot one, or well, not really hot in the general sense of chilies, but as hot as Scotch bonnets. So that's our chilies. I've just got a nice ripe tomato here. I'm just going to take out the core and chop this up roughly into pieces. And as I say, this is quite surprising, this dish, because most things in Nigeria are cooked. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is hygiene. Obviously, it's a hot country and cooking things makes them safer to eat. But also, it's just a bit of tradition, really, I think. It's just, you know, these things have a cultural inertia to them. But one thing I have heard is, obviously, when film crews and things go out to Nigeria from Britain and ask for salads and things like that, they're treated with amazement and concern and so on, because it's just, I think, culturally, I think Nigeria is quite suspicious of especially leafy things, eating them raw. So yeah, salads are unusual in Nigeria, as Babatunde will tell you in his video. Don't forget to check that out. It is different from this video, so it's worth checking out to see the authentic version of this. I'm making a kind of butchered English version of it. Okay, the tomato in there. I couldn't get one of the pink onions like we see Babatunde use, so I'm using a regular onion. It's interesting, these are called brown onions here because that bit's brown. Elsewhere in the world you might know this as a yellow onion, although none of it looks yellow to me. And this I'm just going to kind of cut into shreds like that and then break that up. So, onion into the dish. I should have used a bigger bowl. And then the locust beans just go in whole. A little bit of salt. It's not going to need much salt because the fish is salty and the locust beans are salty as well. A little bit of vegetable oil. I'm tempted to use olive oil here because I do like the flavour, but I don't want to take this too far away from the authentic flavours of the original recipe. So the final ingredient is smoked fish, which is Babatunde used smoked mackerel, which is called Titus in Nigeria, but it is a species of mackerel. This is how smoked fish comes in the UK, typically is packed in plastic, which I'm not very fond of, but there just doesn't seem to be any other way to buy it readily. There's no head on this fish, so we don't get to munch on the eyeball. Babatunde's favourite bit is apparently the eyeball of the fish, but there you go. To each his own. I have eaten fish eyes before, but not my favourite bit. And so then we just flake up this fish into the salad. And going to be careful not to include any little bones because sometimes this smoked mackerel does have a few of the pin bones still in it. So I don't have to deal with any of the Babatunde's fish was smoked whole, and so it still had some of the offal inside of it, the liver and so on. These are fillets, and so the dark pieces here are just dark meat. Something to do with fast and slow twitch muscle in the fish when it's alive, I believe. Right, that's all of that. So now I've just got to kind of make sure all those pieces of onion are a little bit crushed and broken up. And then we'll work this together. So there we go, that's a relatively authentic Imoyo. Obviously I've used different peppers, different kind of onion, slightly different kind of fish, but even though a lot of the ingredients are slightly different, I think this is probably still going to have quite an authentic flavour because it's about the combination of flavours, and it's also about these locust beans, which are probably one of the key flavour components in the dish. Anyway, so that's done. Just going to set that aside for a moment because I'm going to go kind of a little bit British with this, and I'm going to have this as the filling in a sandwich. Okay, so we're just going to have a couple of slices of this lovely fresh bread that I got from the bakery in the village. Beautiful, crusty. I think it's like a chia seed loaf or something. It's a bit pretentious really, but very lovely. I'm just going to have the lightest little smear of butter on there. And now I'm just going to load it up with this Imoyo. Probably going to make a bit of a mess with this because it's a bit chunky. Nice generous filling of sandwich. So there we go. Let's get that to the table and give it a taste. Okay, so here we are. My lovely Imoyo sandwich, and yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult to eat this without it all falling apart, but well, let's just get stuck in. That's really good. Super tasty. Mixing the mackerel in with the onions and tomatoes and peppers like that, with a bit of oil and a bit of salt, has really drawn the flavour out. And this really tastes, even though there's only one little fillet of smoked mackerel in here, it's just packed with flavour. And these little locust beans are flavour bombs. So yeah, the normal way to eat this would be with eko or gari or fufu. So one of those kind of doughy African starchy things, but this is fantastic. This works really well with it. And actually this would go really well on an open face sandwich as well. Now I know the term synergy probably gets bandied about too much, but there is definitely something synergistic about this combination of ingredients. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This is a powerfully and surprisingly tasty mixture, considering that it's only made from 4 or 5 quite humble ingredients. So yeah, that was really interesting, and I'm so glad I tried this. It's simple, but really delicious. Don't forget to check Babatunde's video. It is different from this one because he makes it in the authentic way with the authentic ingredients and serves it with the authentic side. So it's well worth you watching that. It's in that card and it's in the video description. Please do check it out and support his channel. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.